Okay, BVEssentials has an optional setup in company setup that turns on batch-based billing. What batch-based billing is that when you invoice from the sales order list, it does not get posted to Business Vision's tables, so the general ledger, the inventory, the sales history, or accounts receivable, until such time as somebody posts the batch together, even though it's been invoiced already. So it gets assigned its invoice number, and the invoice gets given to the customer, but is not yet posted. So to do that, turn it on, you go into the sales orders and company setup, process invoicing, and go to batch invoicing and save that. So now when you go into sales, what you get at the top is three new buttons: list batches, create batches, and remove from batch. So when we invoice now, click the invoice button. We need the invoice date on it. And that invoice date is because I have my setting to always enter a date. So now we invoice it on account, and we'll print an invoice, preview it. Okay, now we will see that in the sales orders, we have an invoice here with an invoice number on it, but yet it's still in the sales order list. This new column got added when we turn on batch-based billing as well. If we go back into that invoice, it says here the invoice has already been invoiced and is read-only. But if I have full access, so admin rights to this order, I can open it like that, and now I can still edit this invoice, even after the customer's got a copy of it. So you must make sure, if you are editing this invoice, that the customer gets a new copy if the amount has changed. So we'll just close that and not save it, so it'll still remain closed, and we get a status called closed on here. This closed status only shows up if you're on batch-based billing. So we'll invoice one more. We'll choose Davis. We'll put our date in, invoice it, and we won't print it. So now we have a second invoice with that, with a number on it. So now what I can do, if I want to post these at the end of day, I can now sort by invoice number if I wish and put them together, highlight the two of them, and say create batch. This new box comes up, and we can add to an existing batch, of which we don't have at this point. We can do selected orders, which is what I've done. I've highlighted those two orders, or I can hit all closed orders. So then everything will come together. Or I can go all closed orders with a certain invoice date. I can choose to print a batch report at the time. I can also choose to print a trial posting report. If I click OK now, it will just create the batch and print my reports. But if I also choose to post to Business Vision, once I'm satisfied with my reports, I can continue on to the posting. So we'll do it that way. So click OK. So first of all, it wants the batch journal, and we can do an invoice group print as well if we wish. We can print the invoices together. We'll preview this. So there's our batch journal, and then our right afterwards our trial posting came up. So let's preview that as well. So what this has done is it's given us a journal entry of exactly how it's going to post it to Business Vision, what GL accounts will be affected. The only thing that could be different is that the transaction number, which is here, if we leave this screen open long enough and somebody else has done a posting, it could be a new transaction number. The other report we get is the batch journal report, and this is like a cash out report, so you can see what payment methods have been taken on this. So if you need to cash out your cash drawer, you can use this to see what your total should be. And then we show you your totals and your total profits as well. And of course, if the user is not set to see costs and profits, this report won't, the costs won't show up. Then under invoice group print, we see the two invoices that we've actually selected. So once we close those reports off, underneath of us asks us, do you want to continue posting? So if you weren't satisfied with the way the reports came out, you say no, and those invoices still remain behind. So now when you want to work on these two, you don't create a batch again, you want to go to list batches. So then you get a list that pops up and you get those two invoices. We had one earlier batch that was there. This is the one we had before. We can hit print on this and we get those same reports that we looked at earlier, and separately we have a trial posting. So once you've made your corrections, maybe an account was wrong or something, it was set up incorrectly, you can then do another trial report. And if you're now happy with that, you simply highlight the batch, click Post Batch. It posts the batch, disappears from the list, and the invoices from here are gone. At this point, it's exactly like you had posted it directly like Business Vision does. But you have that step in between where you can make corrections for supervisors, of course, corrections to the invoices before they actually get posted to the ledgers.